American producer and actor Tom Cruise is one of the most lucrative people in Hollywood, known to many for his role in the Mission Impossible movie series. Stay tuned with Tom Cruise for fun and biography. Thomas Cruise, nicknamed Tom Cruise, was born on July 3, 1962 in New York. He has 3 sisters and his parents were electrical engineers and teachers, respectively. Tom grew up in a poor Catholic family. He describes his father as a bully who treated him very badly and even beat him. He was also bullied at school by others. Tom Cruise spent part of his life in Canada because of his father's collaboration with the Canadian Army. Disorders in mental reading caused him various problems. So at the age of 14, Tom decided to become a priest, but soon found his main interest, acting. In the following, we will look at Tom Cruise's path to making the impossible possible. Biography of Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise's adolescence and youth. After graduating in 1980, Tom Cruise moved to New York with the help of his mother to pursue his dream. At the same time, he took on various jobs, such as restaurant waiters, to support himself. Tom moved to Los Angeles the following year and contracted with the CAA to begin acting in various films. Endless Love is a 1981 romantic drama film directed by Franco Zeffirelli. It was Tom Cruise's first, albeit brief, appearance as an actor in Hollywood. Later that year, Tom was persuaded by TAP's director Harold Becker to add him to the cast. Starring Tom Cruise, he attracted the attention of critics and other directors to work with him. This attention span made 1983 very busy for Tom. His first film this year was The Outsiders, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Although the audience did not pay much attention to The Outsiders, working with a well-known director like Coppola gave him a lot of credibility. Curtis Hanson then offered Cruise the lead role in Losan, It. A comedy that barely sold $1 million and was considered a commercial failure, but Tom Cruise still had a lot to do with the silver screen. Starring in Risky Business for Tom, who was 21 at the time, nominated for Best Actor in a Leading Role for his role in a musical at the Golden Globes. In addition to this nomination, sales of $63 million and an average score of 75 at the time of writing this article brought him great success and fame in the 3rd year of Tom Cruise's career. Tom ended the year 1983 with another success in All the Right Moves, directed by Michael Chapman. The average score of this sports drama at the time of writing is 62. Tom Cruise is a $1 million man. Tom Cruise's success brought new job opportunities and offers to the young actor. Ridley Scott's next film, Legend, was Tom Cruise's next destination in 1985, but failed miserably at the box office despite its relative success at major events. Paramount Pictures did not even think that the collaboration between Tony Scott and Cruise in 1986 would act like a time bomb. With $356 million in sales, Top Gun was a huge success for Cruise and led to his long-term partnership with Paramount Pictures. It is interesting to know that the budget for making this film was about $15 million. Also, one of the conditions for Tom Cruise to play in this film was his presence as a pilot in various scenes of this film and not using a stuntman. For this purpose, he participated in various classes to obtain a pilot's license. Martin Scorsese then cast Tom Cruise in The Color of Money, co-starring with Paul Newman. The drama grossed $52 million at the box office, earning an average score of 77 at the time of writing, and was well received by critics and audiences. Tom married Mimi Rogers, a Hollywood actress, in 1987, but the couple separated in less than 3 years. Tom Cruise returned to theaters after a 1-year hiatus with Cocktail. Despite the film's box office success and sales of $171 million, it has been critically acclaimed, resulting in a romantic score of 12 at the time of writing. Tom Cruise took the next step in Barry Levinson's drama Rain Man. The result of Dustin Hoffman and Cruise co-starring was nothing but the Best Picture award at the 1989 Academy Awards. Tom Cruise added another honor to his repertoire, and this led to the selection of Oliver Stone for the lead role in Born on the 4th of July. Tom Cruise was nominated for Best Actor at the 1990 Academy Awards for his role in the film for the first time. Although the award eventually went to Daniel Day-Lewis, the nomination was a huge success for Tom, giving him new fans and opportunities. Tom Cruise in Stanley Kubrick's latest film Cruise met and married Nicole Kidman during the 1990 filming of Days of Thunder. The couple starred in the romantic film Far and Away, directed by Ron Howard, 2 years after their marriage. Despite not being well received by critics, the title grossed $137 million in cinemas around the world. Tom Cruise won the Golden Globe Award for Best Actor again in 1992 for his role as Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men. The film's $243 million sales, given its $42 million budget, was a commercial success. A year later he appeared in the drama film The Firm, directed by Sidney Pollack. Neil Jordan's horror drama Interview with the Vampire Chronicles, adapted from the novel of the same name by Rice, was another Cruise success with Brad Pitt. Paula Wagner and Tom Cruise co-founded a new film production company in 1993. The company has since been involved in the production of a number of Tom Cruise films and has even led to Tom Cruise entering the field of production. The first experience of producing Tom and his company dates back to 1996 with the film Mission Impossible, starring Tom Cruise. The film was a huge commercial success for him and Paramount Pictures, with a whopping $457 million. Later that year, Tom was nominated for an Academy Award and a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor in a Leading Role for his role in the comedy Jerry Maguire. The average score of this film at the time of writing is 77. Tom Cruise ended the 20th century with Nicole Kidman with a successful appearance in the latest work by the legendary director Stanley Kubrick. Eyes Wide Shut was released in mid-1999, but unfortunately its director, Stanley Kubrick, died 3 months before its release. The average score of this enduring drama at the time of writing is 68. Tom Cruise as the Last Samurai. Tom Cruise began the 21st century with his role in Magnolia, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. For this performance, he won a Golden Globe Award and was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actor in a Leading Role. Following the success of the first part of Mission Impossible, Paramount Pictures decided to make a sequel to the film called Mission Impossible 2. Despite the director's insistence, Tom Cruise opposed the stuntman's appearance in the film and acted himself in dangerous scenes such as climbing a cliff. It became the best-selling film of 2000 with sales of $546 million. Tom then starred with Cameron Diaz and Penelope Cruz in the romantic film Vanilla Sky. Tom Cruise appeared in the 2002 science fiction film Minority Report, directed by Steven Spielberg and adapted from a short story. The film has a sales of $358 million and an average score of 80 at the time of writing, which shows that it has been well received by critics and viewers alike. Another success of Tom Cruise is related to the Last Samurai movie, The Last Samurai, in 2003. Tom learned to play swordsmanship and horsemanship to play the role in the film, and was even close to losing his life. The high fighting skills and experience of Tom Cruise teammate Hiroyuki Sanada prevented his death. Tom was also nominated for a Golden Globe Award for his role in the film. Tom collaborated with Michael Mann on Collateral after becoming the Last Samurai. Cruise's performance in the film was critically acclaimed. The average score of this crime film at the time of writing is 71. Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible. Steven Spielberg once again chose Tom Cruise to play the lead role in his film. War of the Worlds became the fourth best-selling film of 2005 with sales of $600 million. On the other hand, the film was well received by critics and praised by Tom Cruise. The third part of the Mission Impossible 3 series, directed by J. Abrams, was more successful in attracting critics than the previous two films in the series. October 10, 2006 was designated Tom Cruise Day in Japan as Paramount Pictures' contract with Tom Cruise expired. The reason for this was Tom's intense interest in Japanese culture and his presence in this country more than other Western actors. Cruise co-starred with Meryl Streep in Robert Redford's not-so-successful Lions for Lambs in 2007. However, Tom Cruise did not intend to stop and was nominated for a Golden Globe for the second time for his role in Ben Stiller's Tropic Thunder. The average score of this action and comedy work at the time of writing this article is 71. Tom Cruise's outstanding performance at the box office continued with Valkyrie and Night and Day, but both films did not have much success with critical acclaim. Jon Favreau offered Cruise the role of Iron Man in the movie Iron Man, but the role went to Robert Downey Jr. after he turned it down. After that, Paramount once again contracted Tom Cruise to build the fourth installment of the Mission Impossible series with the Ghost Protocol extension. With over $700 million in sales, it became Tom Cruise's best-selling film to date and the fifth best-selling film of 2011. Cruise climbed the Burj Khalifa in a famous sequence from the film, making an impossible mission possible. The film was also well received by critics, and with an average score of 73, it was another success for the series. Tom Cruise went on to star in Jack Reacher. The Return of Mummy. Tom Cruise's next destination was a successful sci-fi film adaptation of the Oblivion genre. The train of success of this lucky artist at the box office accelerated with the commercial success of Edge of Tomorrow, and on the other hand, it was very well received by critics. The fifth installment of Rogue Nation, directed by Christopher McCurry, premiered in 2015. As usual, Cruise did not believe in a stuntman and held his breath for more than 6 minutes in underwater scenes. He also hung from a real plane in the same film to show his acting skills again. The film was successful in attracting critics and audiences with sales of about $700 million and good scores, and appeared better than the previous titles in the series. Jack Reacher's Never Go Back sequel and The Mummy reboot failed to garner critical acclaim but sold well at the box office. Tom Cruise ended 2017 with a role in the action movie American Made. The latest release from Tom Cruise to date is Mission: Impossible – Fallout, directed by Christopher McCurry, which with 791 million sales and a score of 86, is the most successful Tom Cruise film in terms of critics and in terms of sales as of this writing. Tom Cruise and the SpaceX project Corona outbreaks have led to repeated delays in the release of many films, including Top Gun: Maverick. The film is scheduled to be released on July 2, 2021. Tom Cruise is currently playing in the 7th and 8th episodes of the Mission Impossible series, which is scheduled for release in 2021 and 2022. In the near future, the actor will star in 2 other action films, Live Die Repeat and Luna Park, directed by Doug Liman. These films are in the pre-production stage and do not have any specific release date yet. Cruise also has a big idea for a film outside the Earth's atmosphere and will work with NASA and SpaceX to make it happen. The screenplay will be written and directed by Doug Liman, and many details of the project have not yet been announced. With a fortune of $580 million, Tom Cruise is the richest actor in Hollywood. Disney is inspired by the face of Tom Cruise to create the character of Aladdin. Tom has starred in more than 40 films, grossing more than $10 billion. Despite numerous nominations, Cruise has not won an Academy Award yet, but he has won 3 Golden Globe Awards and several other awards and honors in his extremely successful record. What do you think of Tom Cruise movies? What do you think is his best film?